Hey y'all, I'm out in the garden. It has been a while. We've been busy with our markets and cutting and learning all of the things, but I wanted to catch you guys up on what's going on in the garden. It is the middle of June right now, and so let's just take a peek. Okay, right here along this front row is where we had our first successions of sunflowers. That is pretty much done. We've cut what we are using from this row, and as you can see, there are stems all over the place from where we've been cutting and pulling things out. This soil hasn't really been planted and worked enough for me to be at the point of just pulling stems out and popping another seed back in. So I'm really having to come through and shake the soil from these root balls and intentionally sort of like work through this soil so that I can plant following successions. But I've been doing it. It's going fine. I know I mentioned wanting to transplant sunflowers, but it is really, it's not efficient. So I am direct seeding my sunflowers still. And I've got some other successions coming up here just behind the sunflowers that I pulled. So I'll go through at some point and pile all of these stems together for compost. But for now, they're everywhere and we've got new sunflowers coming up. So some of these patchier spots, like right in there, I came back with some more seeds and just trying to fill in where I can. But one thing that I've got to do is go ahead and rip the rest of these stems out right here so that this space is clear when I come through with another succession of sunflowers. All right, I told you guys I was going to be planting more gladiolus, and that's what I've got in ground right here. There is a bit of a blank space between this gladiolus and the amaranth you see down there, and that's because I'm going to come in with another, I think I've got another 200 of the gladiolus, and I'm going to stick that last succession right here in this blank patch. So I'm planting those every couple weeks so that I'm able to stagger the blooms. This amaranth has been destroyed by what I think are cucumber beetles or like little flea beetles. But my plan for this is to strip the foliage and just use these little spikes up here. So I'm letting that go. Our cosmos right here down the middle, got another succession of those coming in. It's pretty weedy, but cosmos don't seem to be too picky, so they're doing fine. And over here is the patch that I've been cutting from. I'm not loving apricota. I love the color on it, but haven't been able to get great stem length on it. So we'll see how that goes as the season continues. But I do have some cosmos I'm going to come in and cut and use for a special order bouquet tomorrow. All right, I don't think the Rudbeckia was blooming the last time we shot a video. We've had some storms and some wind. Some of those are down, but we are taking some smaller bud vase arrangements to our downtown market, and these stems are, I don't know, probably about 8 or 9 inches long. I could probably make use of those, but for our larger arrangements, this is one of the patches that I'm cutting from. And believe it or not, Archer and I came out yesterday and cut from this patch, and it already needs to be cut again. These are just very prolific. They're blooming well. they're holding up in the vase well, so it's a nice addition. The eucalyptus is taken off. I'm going to be cutting from this tonight also for that special order bouquet. I haven't cut from it yet, but looks like we've got enough to do a little bit with. So excited to use that for the first time. Okay, this is the patch in the middle with our zinnias. We've got some sunflowers, some amaranth, some basil, and it has really filled out nicely. We're already cutting from this. As far as the zinnias go, there's not a whole lot in here, just because I came through and I took some cuts yesterday. So one thing that I don't think a lot of people think about when they think of growing flowers is that ideally we want the customer to enjoy the flowers. So I don't have a garden full of flowers. There are some that need to open up fully, like the zinnias, but if I had a garden full of beautiful blooming flowers all the time, really what that would mean is that I'm not cutting them in time for the customer to have the optimal base life. So it's really just a whole lot of green around here. Most of the time, lots of green. We do get to enjoy zinnias momentarily, but most of the blooms I am working with, and then we are selling. This is amaranth, and again, the beetles have really just decimated the foliage, but I'm not using the foliage, so all of that will be stripped off. One thing that I grew that I wasn't really loving and obviously not cutting are the sweet peas. I just didn't like arranging with these, so they're pretty spent. I'm gonna be pulling these out soon, but they did really well as far as, you know, something to grow. So they smell amazing. I'm not really using them. Not excellent stem length, but you could definitely do something smaller with them. Some coreopsis right there. I'm liking that okay. I've been using a little bit more of this red and burgundy than the yellow and white. Our blackberries are fruiting really well. We've been coming out and picking probably about a pint every other day or so. And the boys are liking these and blackberry smoothies. So we've been making lots of smoothies lately. I've got more black-eyed Susan right here. A couple different varieties. This one's got the green center. And I think I've just got this small patch of these, but maybe I'll be able to let these reseed. Here, some more blackberries. We've got blueberries also, but like I said, we came out yesterday and did some harvesting. The tomatoes are not looking great, but they're producing wonderfully. So I pulled in some yesterday. These are our Amish paste, and something like this I'd go ahead and pull, just because in this situation I've got these tomatoes directly on the ground. They're not trellised or anything like that, so I'm pulling the ones that are beginning to turn. We've got good size on those. The gladiolus that you guys saw Archer and I plant are near blooming. We've got some flower buds right there, but no flowers yet. You can see those blackberries just back there. Okay, so this super weedy patch right here in between the gladiolus and tomatoes down there. All of that is planted with daffodils. But because those are cool season, the weeds have taken over, I will come through, or Kevin will come through, one of us, and just mow over the top of that. And my thinking is that in the winter, all of that will die back. The daffodils will be able to pop through, and we'll have a nice little daffodil patch there. But that's why that looks the way that that does. Over here, let's see, we've got some more tomatoes starting to come in.
Should I take them?
Yep, these are a little soft.
Okay, can we take them? And this is how you take a potato. You twist.
It's a tomato.
This is how you pick.
Sully, that one was a little bit early, but these,
Got one.
you got one? All right, we take that in. See, there's lots of pest pressure on these tomatoes. So once they are just a little soft to the touch,
Like this.
I go ahead and I pull them so that we can actually get some inside. If I left them until they were super ripe, there wouldn't be anything left out here. But still lots of tomatoes on the vine. We've pulled a couple peppers.
Yeah.
Hey Sully, look, blackberries. Do you want some?
You can put them in my pocket.
Where are you gonna put it? Pocket full of tomatoes.
And now we see my
Okay.
pockets. You can... Where is it?
All right, here's a bed with some, what is this? Billy Balls, Craspedia. I feel like I'm starting to lose track of what everything's called. These are doing well. I really like them, so those will probably be back next year. Our snapdragons are finishing up. Still cutting a few here and there. Not a whole lot. All right, I told you guys I was going to try for some food here and there. So I showed you the tomatoes, blackberries, strawberries are still producing, and we have been getting some of this patty pan squash, but we don't spray. There are squash bugs, so it doesn't come out looking perfect. But we're getting some. Probably go ahead and pick this since I saw a squash bug on it. Just that. Got one yesterday, and it looks like there's a couple more on the way. All right, last thing I'm gonna show you guys is this bed of bachelor button. It is on its way out. I've been cutting from this quite a bit, but the stems are getting shorter. It's looking a little ratty, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip this bed this week. I think I'm gonna come through and put some more zinnias or some fall colored rudbeckia here. I haven't decided just yet, but these are super prolific. I actually have a darker shade of this cornflower that I'm considering starting for the fall. But it's been really nice to have the blues and purples for the spring. They pair really well with the yellow that we've had a lot of. So bachelor buttons have definitely been worth it in my book. They are a little bit of a pain to harvest, but still worth it, I think, for now. Alrighty guys, that's it for now. I am going to pull sunflower stalks. I'm going to plant more sunflowers, and I'm gonna figure out what's going in the bachelor button bed, but we will catch you guys up soon. Bye.
Bye.